It's time to place your bets for week 7. Let's step into the huddle.
585, ready.
You're listening to the PreSnap Podcast Weekly Wagering Show, brought to you by LineStar App, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Pisapia and Scott Bogman.
Hey, yo! What's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to the PreSnap right here on the LineStar app. It is me, it is Scott Bogman, and it's you. And we're picking the games. That's right. It's the wagering show, courtesy of the LineStar app. Get that LineStar app today and upgrade to that premium product and start winning some cash, because everybody loves the cash. Last week, same thing held true if you listen to the program, and I know you do. And if you're not, what the hell's wrong with you? Make sure you go over and subscribe right away to the PreSnap with Scott Bogman and myself. And that way, you know, whenever the shows drop. DFS show just dropped yesterday. We do our recap and our hot take show on Tuesdays. So you get 3 shows a week for us absolutely free. I don't know what's better than that. Probably nothing. I will say this, though. If you go with me every week on the over-unders and Bogman against the spread, you're winning money. 9-5 last week. I was in the over-unders. Bogman was 8-6. Against the spread. Both of us are 2-1 in terms of picking games straight up. Very good. But I'm struggling against the spread this year. I need to pick it up. And Bogman's over-unders are kind of falling short too. So we both need to pick up a little bit, which is good.
Right.
It helps us a little bit, Boggs.
Yeah. I feel like this is a time of year where we kind of know what these teams are. We'll have a couple moving pieces at the trade deadline, and obviously injuries are going to factor in and stuff, and the weather is going to start hitting us later in the year. But I think right now is a time to really get back on track. These games are, I told you on Tuesday, though, these games aren't the easiest to pick this week. I remember when I was putting them into this sheet, I was like, woof, don't know where I'm going to go here. Don't know where I'm going to go there. But just a couple. I mean, some of them are, I think, easy, but some of them are racking my brain this week, Joe.
Well, let's see. Let's rack that brain of yours and see what comes loose. And let's start with Detroit and Atlanta. Atlanta at home is actually 2-point favorites. Okay. 55.5 is the number. I'll go first. I'll make it easy for you right here. I will take the over on the 55.5 between Atlanta and Detroit. Sorry, I just don't believe too much in either of these teams. I think that actually Detroit wins this football game, and the Atlanta story comes crashing down. Yeah, it was cute. They won a game in Minnesota last week. No, so give me Detroit, and obviously if they're the underdog, against the spread as well. So there you have it. Give me Detroit in the over. I'm not going to buy this whole, okay, we're going to turn it all around now with Atlanta and everything's going to be great. I don't think Detroit is great at all, but I think Detroit with Kenny Golladay is a far different Detroit than what you saw at the beginning of the first 2 games of the season. And I think Detroit also starting to get DeAndre Swift involved is going to be the difference maker in this game. That's how I see it. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Your thoughts? Can Atlanta keep this win train rolling into the station?
See, this is one I don't like this week. I'll ride the over with you. I was fence riding on that one. So, you know, you've been much better on the over unders.
My over. There's no hesitation in my over in this. I was like, yeah.
Well, look, 10 games went under last week. Like, it feels like the defenses are catching up. So that's why I was a little wary on that line. But I think I'm with you. You know, Detroit was good coming out of the bye. I don't know if they're going to keep that momentum, though. So I'll go with the over on that one. Picking the game is a little harsher because I thought that, I mean, was it more Atlanta good last week or was it more Minnesota bad last week?
I see that is a very good point. I say Minnesota bad because they've been equally bad and that's my opinion. But I think you lose that game at home. There is no home field advantage really anymore, especially for a team like Minnesota. I'm saying it's Detroit. It wouldn't shock me if Atlanta won.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sorry. You know, Detroit, I think right now is better suited to win this football game than Atlanta is. I just that Atlanta defense is just still dreadful. And Kirk Cousins, I think, gave that game away at times as well. And that should not be forgotten. So
so I'll go with you. I'll go Detroit and the over. You know, it's still the coaching staff in Atlanta is still questionable. I mean, it is in Detroit as well, but I'll go with Detroit. I think they're more skilled. Give me Detroit and the over.
All right, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Cleveland on the road is actually 3.5-point favorites. Baker's a little banged up, so a lot of guys on this team, but they're still 3.5 favorites on the road. 50.5 is the number. Boggs, your thoughts on this one?
Okay, so Cincinnati played really good in the first half last week. They came out swinging.
Yeah.
And Cleveland is banged up. You know what? This is going to be my upset special. I'm going to take Cincinnati at home. We're not going to get the escalator of sadness. And on that over under, I'm going to play to the under here. I think just with Cleveland's offense being banged up, we expect Kareem Hunt to have a big game. I still think he will, but I think running the ball more plays to the under as well. We may see Case Keenum in this game if they cannot keep Baker Mayfield upright, or if he's as off target as he was last week. So I'm gonna ride the Bengals with a little bit of momentum. They still lost that game and gave it up. Their defense is still miserable, but I think they're playing a little bit better. They're playing a little bit harder. Give me the Bengals and the under.
I will also take the under in this one. However, I will take Cincinnati to cover, Cleveland to win.
Okay.
I think this is a tighter game.
24-21, something like that.
Yeah, and I think it's a just barely under too. Like, we're talking just under. Like, I think this 50.5 is perfect. I would run away from this number in real life. But since we're picking all the games is what we are tasked to do here on the program. But I would not recommend chasing this over under in particular. But to me, I actually think Cincinnati, you're right. I think they will. I think Cincinnati is going to be a roller coaster. And at the same time, I think Cleveland is kind of the same. Like, I think Cleveland will play to the best of their abilities on defense. I think that will be the difference maker of why they win the game. I think Myles Garrett will create a turnover. Something will happen in this game defensively here for Cleveland, and Cincinnati, I just don't think could hold a lead if they had one. And I think that's the problem. Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans is 7.5-point favorites at home. That's a big number in this one. 51 is the total. I will take New Orleans to win this football game. I will take New Orleans to cover as well. I actually think this is a get-right game for New Orleans, and it's sad for the Carolina Panthers because they've had some good moments here, but I think, unfortunately, this is the pumpkin. This is it. It's Halloween time, and Cinderella and the coach turns into a pumpkin here. And I'm going to go with 51. I'm going to go with the over here a little bit. I think New Orleans really kind of opens things up here finally. Even if Thomas isn't healthy, just him being on the field makes some problems here. Youthful defense is not a great situation in that dome against Drew Brees. So I will take the over here in this one. I think New Orleans in a blowout.
Yeah, I got New Orleans too, but I hate this over under. Is this one, how confident on a 1 to 10 scale are you on this over under? Because I don't feel like I want to bet this one.
I would say 4.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm with you on that. I hate, you know what? I'm just going to say under.
I think the garbage time is there potentially for Teddy B because he's played good enough to do that. And so
you might be right. I just think Mike Davis is not 100%. New Orleans is coming off of a bye. I think that this is a New Orleans domination game. You know what I mean? Like a 35-13, something like that, which is still pretty close to the over, which is why I hate this number. So New Orleans under for me, though.
All right. Buffalo at New York Jets is the biggest cavern of the week. You're going to see, by the way, I think in a couple weeks, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, when the Jets play the Chiefs. It's like a 20-point favorite right now or something. Like it's crazy.
It's gonna look like a college line.
Yeah, it's like the 5th highest line ever. Numbers 13.5, over unders 44.5. So give me your take on this one. Is it just a simple?
How could you pick the Jets in anything? It's Buffalo. Even Buffalo struggling right now. It's Buffalo. This is a slump buster. Give me Buffalo straight up against the spread, even giving up those 2 touchdowns. And I'll take the over in this game too. I think they can score. And I think, if the Jets are going to do anything right, they should be able to score against Buffalo. But I mean, I'm obviously more confident in my against the spread pick of Buffalo than I am on the over under. So Buffalo and the over for me.
I will take the over. I will take Buffalo. I will take the Jets to cover.
No, you won't. Are you really going to take the Jets?
13.5. That's too much. It's too much.
Is it?
It is. With the way Buffalo.
How much Jet football? You pick them against every week. You pick against them.
I know, but not this week. I'm still not. The Jets aren't going to win, but I think they're going to cover this game. I do.
Have the Jets covered once this week? This year?
They gotta cover this week. I don't know. I think in division games, weird things happen. That's and it's in New York, and it's just one of those things where
Josh Allen hasn't looked like himself the last 2 weeks either. But
Bills have not been impressive the last 2 weeks for me.
But that's why I said slump buster. The Jets are an absolute slump buster.
You might be right. I might be crazy. I'm sticking with the Jets against the spread. And here we go. Got a little difference there. I mean, I just think 13.5 is too big for a team right now in Buffalo that has some problems. If this was, I don't know, if it's Pittsburgh, I would say, yes, sure.
I got you. Yeah.
Buffalo right now is just here's my biggest problem with Buffalo. Their inability to run the football worries me. And I think that's something where, if you can't eat clock, and it's really tough. I think it's going to be tough for Buffalo if they can't get that run game right. And they were right last year. Gore was pretty good. Singletary had some breakaway runs. You haven't gotten that yet. And maybe they will today, but I'm not going to go for it.
I'll agree with you because I think that not being able to run the football is specifically bad right now because Josh Allen doesn't look great. He's missing wildly, all that stuff. I understand, and I'm absolutely with you on that. But I think that this is the game where you can come out of that shakiness and you can look better and regain your confidence for Allen. So I'm going to count on him doing that.
You're probably right. I'm probably crazy.
We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be, that's what makes this game worth watching, is to see who's right on that.
How bad will they be? Speaking of how bad,
I'm glad you get to pick the next game first. I like
Dallas
that.
at Washington. Dallas is 1-point favorite because they're a national team, and it's time to start learning some hard lessons here. 46 is the number. I would run away from this. I feel terrible about this.
Fully and completely on both sides, right? Yeah, I don't want to mess with this.
God, I'm not running away from this game altogether, so let's just have some fun. I'm going to make some money. It's going to be on the Washington side. Give me Washington. Give me rock bottom Cowboys. Here we go. Rock bottom. Oh. This is it. Terrible, terrible, awful. And let's see. The number is 46. Thinking of the score here. Washington defensively is actually not terrible. Just collectively on the year. It's just what Andy Dalton.
I think they're number one against the pass.
Washington. Yeah, and it's like what Andy Dalton's going to. I'm going to go under because if Washington's going to win this game, they're going to have to find a way to keep it, closer. It can't be like this crazy. I don't think Washington has the offense to get into 34-31 shootout with Dallas. I don't think that's coming here. So give me Washington the under. And this might tank my week, but so be it. I've had it with Dallas. I've just had it with them. Every time I try to think it's wrong. So I'm just going to go against because it's screaming, well, take Dallas. What are you, stupid? I can't do it. Won't do it. Not anymore.
I was hoping you were going to take Dallas so I could be contrarian with you, but no, I'm going to go with Washington as well. Just the goose egg that they laid on Monday Night Football was sad to watch, and one less day of preparation to go in. And traveling
in the locker room right now, and that's never a good thing, man. I'm telling you, football teams that start talking trash about the coach and start leaking information like that off the record, that's bad. That's a big sign there. And Ron Rivera is going to have his team ready. I guarantee it. Washington's going to be ready.
I still don't. I really don't like the benching Haskins decision that Rivera made. So I'm going to keep saying that because I don't think Kyle Allen's very good. So, but I'm gonna go with you on this one. Give me Washington straight up against the spread and the under.
Hey, Sam Darnold could be looking for a job next year. Why not Washington? Right?
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. They could just flip those guys for each other. Let Haskins go play in New York.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have
new head coaches.
So. Well, they're gonna have Trevor Lawrence. So you're basically looking at the Jets being in a position where they're gonna move Darnold. And he can help some teams. Look, there's a chance that Darnold.
Trevor Lawrence has another year of eligibility if he doesn't want to play for the Jets.
Yeah, you know what? He likes money.
Okay, he likes money, but if Adam Gase is still the head coach, going into next year,
they'll let him pick the coach.
They should
interviewing the coach. What are you, crazy?
But why isn't Gase fired right now?
Right? They want to make sure they get Lawrence because for once in the Jets' lives, they're going to try to do it right. Because this happened a couple years ago when they drafted Darnold. Do you remember? They were 0 and whatever, and then they won. And I remember doing the show with my friend Benny Ricciardi. Benny's one of my favorite people. Great DFS guy too. And he was like, look, man, He's like, we can't even lose right. I think they won 5 games that year, and that's how they ended up with Darnold instead of the number 1 overall pick. He's like, we can't even lose right. They're going to lose right this year. They're going to clean sweep everything. New regime, new people. Trevor Lawrence, they're going to go. I'm telling you, it's what's going to happen. Yeah, you're Trevor Lawrence. Why, after watching what happened to Tua last year, why would you take that chance?
No, I understand that, and I get it. I just, Trevor Lawrence was also, him and Justin Fields were the first 2 that said, when COVID and everything started breaking out, they were like, we want to play. We want to play. That's all they want. And, Dabo has love Dabo or hate Dabo. He's built the opposite of what Adam Gase has with the Jets, where everyone loves being there and loves playing for him. So it's just, we've seen young men make worse decisions, right, than going back to play college football for another year. So I just wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Trevor Lawrence can get paid, and he will make a ton of money playing in New York. I mean,
that's a lot of pressure too, though. So
what, to win 1 more game than the 0 you won the year before?
Do you think? Well, as soon as he wins 5 games, New York media is going to be like, well, why isn't it 10?
Yeah,
so you know how you live there. I don't have to explain this to you.
I know, but it's a story for another time. We could do a whole show on that, and maybe we will. Green Bay at Houston. Green Bay is 3.5-point favorites in this one. 57.5 is the number. It's a big number, 57.5. I mean, that's pretty big. Boggs, you go first on this one. What do you got?
All right. Well, I'm definitely taking Green Bay. Houston is playing better, and they're playing more inspired and everything. And they took Tennessee to OT last week. But you're going to encounter a very, very angry Green Bay team after the terrible performance they had against Tampa Bay. They, I know this is another road game too, but I'm going to take Green Bay against the spread. Supremely confident. This is the biggest number of the week. I hate picking against this line, but I'm going to go over. Houston is scoring right now. And Green Bay I feel like is really going to get back on track and scoring in this game. So I'm going to take the Packers. Give me the over as well.
I will take the Houston Texans to cover. I will take the Green Bay Packers to win the game.
I thought you were going to do it.
I know. I teased a little bit. I keyed. I will take the over, though, despite how crazy large it is, just because, I think Houston's just playing for broke, and that's very dangerous. I think Houston will keep this one close yet again. Pittsburgh at Tennessee. This number is 50.5. I can tell you right now, I'm going to go over. I think this one's going to surprise people right now. I think they're giving, it's not that Pittsburgh defense isn't great, because it is. I just don't think they're giving enough credit to Tennessee, and Tennessee's going to be ready. Tennessee, I guarantee you, is sitting there going, look, people still don't believe in us. I know that Tennessee's favored right now in this game, but I think national media wise, the narrative is definitely Pittsburgh Steelers undefeated, best team. Well, Tennessee's going to have something to say about it.
Tennessee's undefeated too.
Well, but didn't they miss the game, right? So they were supposed to play the Steelers. That was this game, right? That game. Ooh, imagine a couple weeks ago if it happened, and it wasn't AJ Brown there, and it wasn't. Now all of a sudden they're full strength. Ooh, you know what? Let's have some fun here. I'm feeling frisky today. Give me the Tennessee Titans to win this game. Yes, Tennessee upsets Pittsburgh, and the Tennessee narrative begins. Let's go with the over here. It's going to be close. And of course, you're going to go the opposite way, I'm sure.
No, well, I'm not going to go the opposite way on the over-under, because I'm with you there. I think they match up well against the Steelers defense. But the one thing is that Pittsburgh can stop Tennessee. I don't know if they will, but they have the ability to. I don't think Tennessee has the ability to stop Pittsburgh. So I think there's going to be points on the board regardless. So I actually like the over better than I like picking against the spread in this game, because I don't think anyone would bat an eye if Pittsburgh was favored by a point or a point and a half in this game, either the way that they have been playing and the way they dominated Cleveland, who had looked good up until playing Pittsburgh last week. So, but I'm going to take the Steelers in this game. I think they're the better overall team. It's a tough road game and all that stuff. But also remember, Pittsburgh is angry at Tennessee for making them have their bye week 4 also. So there's a little bit extra on the table for Pittsburgh to play for here too. So give me the Steelers, give me the over.
Next one, Seattle at Arizona. Seattle coming off the bye, favored by 3.5 on this one on the road. 55.5 is the number. Arizona coming off a big Monday night win. Your thoughts on this one, Boggs?
I mean, Seattle coming off the bye is everything you had to say here. I think these teams are built very similar in the fact that their offense is very good. Their defense is suboptimal. So that makes it an easy over, even at 55.5 in this game for me. And I'm going to take the team that has more time to prep. Remember, not only is Seattle coming off a bye, the Cardinals also played on Monday. So one less day to prep in this game. So give me the Seahawks and the over.
I'm going to go Seahawks and the under. I just think Arizona's going to be a little outmatched in this game, personally. And I think
they haven't looked great either.
Yeah, you know? and I think we're falling into a trap of seeing them, the last couple of weeks against subpar opponents, right? You've seen them against
Jets
the Jets,
and Cowboys. Yeah,
you see them against the Cowboys. I think as bad as Seattle's defense has been, and they have been terrible, I think Arizona is going to get a little harsh reminder here of what the difference between them and look in division again. Once again, in division games, I always feel like they're a little tighter. Always, these teams, fight each other a little bit more. So I'm going to take the under in this one. Jacksonville at the Chargers. Chargers coming off a bye. 7.5-point favorites. 49. Look, I like the Chargers, but I don't think I'm ready to call the Chargers a 7.5-point favorite. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. And I don't believe in Jacksonville. I think the Chargers win the game, but give me Jacksonville. In terms of the number here, you know what? Give me the over in this game. I'll take the over. Your thoughts here on this one?
I'm going to go with you. Well, I'll go with you that the Chargers win, but just Jacksonville has been so miserable the last couple weeks. And, the Chargers are coming off the bye, extra time to prep, extra rest, get that rookie quarterback a couple more reps and everything. So I am going to take them against the spread in this game. I'm going to say the under too. Melvin Ingram's going to be back for the Chargers, and he puts a little bit of pressure on Gardner Minshew and probably wipes him out a couple times as well. So give me the under in this game, and I'll take the Chargers.
All right, Kansas City at Denver. KC is 9.5-point road favorites in this game. 46 is the number. It's pretty low. I mean, I know Denver is not a great offensive team, but KC is. So your thoughts on this one? KC at Denver, 9.5.
Yeah, I feel like this is another one that I have not been great on the over-unders this year. I was 500 last week. I was a game under the week before and 500 the week before. So the last 3 weeks, I'm only a game under. So I haven't been horrific. I'm going to take the over in this game because, look, Kansas City can put up 40, 50 points by themselves any given week if they click. And I don't know if they're going to click against Denver. Like you mentioned before, divisional games are tougher, but I think the over, I'm more confident in them picking against the spread. I can't take Denver. I got to take Kansas City against the spread. You, me, and the Welsh talked on the Black Book this week how we all still think Kansas City is the best team in the league, and I think Denver's reaching, but they do look. Drew Lock, I think, has the highest air yard average per pass this year, so he's slinging it downfield. I wouldn't be surprised to see some big plays out of Denver and them get on the board too. That's what makes me more confident in the over as well. But I'll take the Chiefs against the spread and straight up.
I will take Kansas City. And I will take the over as well. So we're in lockstep here. I think Kansas is going to blow them out, but I think Denver will score some points late here, and this will push it there. KC is going to get 30 here in this one. That's where I'm coming from. I think KC recognizes this is a game you go handle. It's in division here. You continue to pound on these teams that you can. I think they already had their caught napping game. There you go. San Fran at New England. New England 1.5-point favorites in this game. 43.5 is the number. I'm going to take the Patriots. They got embarrassed last week. I know it looked terrible. I know. Bill Belichick will find a way to beat Jimmy Garoppolo and whatever's left of this offense. New England will win this football game. And look, it's the 1.5, so it's not enough. So I'm just going to go. It's basically a pick 'em anyway. So give me New England. And I think you're going to give me the over. This is going to surprise you a little bit. I think it's just going to end up being a little looser. I can see this game getting loose at the end. So it's like a 16-13 or a 13-10 game at half, and it's very underwhelming. And then things are going to open up a little bit. But I think New England's defense will make some plays here. And sorry, San Fran. Go ahead, Boggs. I know you're going to take the under. You're going to go polar opposite. This is going to be the game of the week right here.
Yeah, I hate this game. I would not bet it with your money. at all. So I don't know what to pick. I'm going to take the Niners here. I think they're looking a little bit better. I think
They have no Mostert.
They have no Mostert, but look, Jimmy G's looking more healthy, and they have Ayuk's getting a little bit better. Debo looks healthy.
Michael Hasty, I swear I'm going to stop this podcast right now.
I wasn't going to say JaMychal Hasty, but now that you mentioned the rookie out of Baylor, I kind of like him. So Welsh and I picked him up in flex. So, but I'm not a big fan of either one of these teams either way. I said yesterday, this game's going to be 14-3. I hate it. So give me the under because neither one of these teams are good on offense right now at all. And I'll take the Niners just to be contrary. So,
all right, this next one I really don't like. The number here.
I'm more confident in this one than I am.
I know. I'm not because Tampa, I feel like, plays up and down to the competition far too often this year. Yes. Like that's my concern here. Tampa on the road against Vegas. Tampa's 4-point favorites. 51.5 is the number. So you take me through your thought process and I'll give everyone mine.
All right. Look, I think the easy one to play here, even though Tampa Bay's defense is playing really well right now, I think you got to go with the over. The way that Derek Carr has turned into a gunslinger this year, throwing the ball down the field with confidence. I think they're coming off a bye. Get some of those wide receivers healthy. Get Josh Jacobs back to 100%. Recharge Darren Waller, and Ruggs looked good a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna take the over easy in this game. So over for me. Picking against the spread is a little tougher. I love this line of Tampa Bay by 4. I think that's a great line to have. But with the Bucs looking so impressive last week, I am going to take them. That might be hedging a little bit. If I'm taking the over, maybe I should take the Raiders. But I think the Bucs are playing too well right now to pick against them, and the roster is better. And anytime you have Brady versus Carr, you're going to take Brady. So I'll take the over because I think the Raiders offense can get back on track and can put up some points against a good defense here, but give me Tampa Bay.
I will take Tampa. I will take the Raiders to cover. I wasn't super confident in it, but I will. I think the Raiders. I don't say Ravens twice. The Raiders to cover. At home, they have a little self-respect for themselves. 51.5, I'm going to take the over because, yes, as good as Tampa's defense was, Tampa's a little Jekyll and Hyde for me. And it's what I've seen so far. Like I said, they come out, they look great, and then they go lose to Chicago. And you're like, why are you losing to Chicago? That team's terrible. I'm sorry, they are. I don't care what their record says. They're terrible. They're awful to watch. They're awful. And speaking of Chicago, let's talk about them and the Rams.
This is a tough one to pick too.
My other least favorite team in the universe, who's completely inconsistent. So the Rams are 6-point favorites at home against Chicago. Give me the Rams to win, the Bears to cover, because the Rams can't put anybody. I'm sorry. No, I do not believe that the Rams are just, we're going to cakewalk anybody, because nothing is easy with the Rams, damn it. Nothing. And you know what? Give me the under in a miserable game right here. This is going to be a miserable 20-16 slugging, Monday night crap fest. Terrible. No good. Oh, gross. Chargers, Bears. Terrible game. 2016. There you go.
Give me, I'm going to go Chicago, straight up and against the spread. I have no confidence at all in Nick Foles, but look, they keep winning even with Nick Foles. So at some point, you're going to just have to say that this defense is good enough to carry this team. That's exactly what's happening right now. And I think they're going to be good enough. And also, when you smash Jared Goff a couple times, he starts to really get happy feet and a quick trigger. So I'm going to take the Bears to smack him, get Khalil Mack in his face a couple times. And so I'm going to take them straight up. Like you said, this line I hate, 44.5, I think is just about perfect. This seems like a 24-21 game or a 23-20 game, which can play off either way. I think it's going to be real close. I'll take the over just in case the Bears, because if the Bears don't get in the face of Jared Goff, he's going to beat them. He's going to beat them easily. And I think Nick Foles can turn the ball over and set up some short fields. Should this spiral the other way, But I give me the over in this game.
I am so sick of the Rams. They drive me crazy. And you know what? I tried the other, it started with week 1 where I was like, man, they really should not have won that football game, right? Like the Dallas basically handed it to them. And then you're like, okay, well, there's an easy cakewalk game against the Giants, and they barely get by in that one. And then they go the next week and they blow out the Eagles, and then they come around the other week and then they lose to the 49ers. You're like, what the hell's going on? Like, who are you? Oh, they're the worst. They're the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
Chicago
look, like
does.
I said,
let me tell you, I'm rooting for Chicago to win just because I hate the Rams so much. I can't pick them on the road. I can't do it, but I hope they win. Chicago, I'm looking at you. I want you to win this football game, please, so I can continue to talk on Tuesday about how terrible the Rams are.
Well, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things where, like I said at the top of the show, I feel like we should know more about these teams. There's a couple teams that have been so up and down, you don't know which one you're going to get. I think your Patriots are like that. I think in both these teams, the Rams and the Bears are like that. So don't think I would bet this game, but I will take Chicago and their momentum so far.
All right, it's that time again, boys and girls. It's time for the upset special. So I will go first this week, and make sure you're following us over at LineStar App on Twitter and LineStar NFL. Make sure you subscribe to the PreSnap podcast with Scott Bogman and myself every single week, our DFS preview, our hot take show, and recap, and of course, our wagering show, which is this one right here. So a little upset special. I've had it. I am planting my flag. Give me the Washington football team, a team that doesn't even have a name or anything on their helmet except a number, against the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care. I have had it with the Cowboys. I've had it with Andy Dalton. I've had it with Mike McCarthy. I've had it with the stupid star. I am done. I am done. It's time. Let's put the knife in the heart. Let's plant the flag. Give me the Washington football team to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Boggs, what's your upset special this week?
Give me Cincinnati over Cleveland, and the spread's a little bit bigger in that one, but I think Cleveland is banged up right now. I think Cincinnati's starting to put it together. We saw a really good half against the Colts last week. I think they can put together a full game this week. So give me the Bengals over the Browns.
Let me tell you, man, how sad is it going to be in Cleveland if they lose this football game, right? They're 4-1, then back-to-back weeks you lose to Pittsburgh and then Cincinnati if the scripture writing comes to fruition. Woo!
Why do you think they call it the factory of sadness, Joe?
This is true. This is true. Luckily, we're the factory of awesome here on the show, so make sure you follow us on Twitter at Joe Pisapia17, at Bogman Sports. And have a great weekend of football, everybody. That'll do it for us. There's nothing left to do now except down, set, win.
You've been listening to the PreSnap Podcast Weekly Wagering Show, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, drop a rating, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from Joe Pisapia and Scott Bogman.